I'm the Commissar. We are watching Forged Alliance Forever, and you have been wondering where I've been. Never fear, I've been away, but I'm back. And I think you and I have got time for a little quickie, haven't we? How about this one? We are in the Blue Lands, and they are indeed pretty blue. This I can't deny. We have the North team up here and the South team down here. Each of them have 5 players. We'll have a look at the map after we've met the teams. In the air position for North team, we have Absolute Evil, the game's highest rated player at 2100. He's Seraphim in baby pink. On the flank, this is KriegsMarine. He's 1700 rated and he's Cybran in brown. Moving along, this is ParadoXXX with lots of X's on the end. He's 1200 rated and UEF. He's in red. Next up we have Ozelot, 1100 rated and Cybran. He's in yellow. And last but not least for the Northern team, this is mnscrazy. He's 1000 rated. He's also Cybran. He's in dark blue. And the Southern team, in their air position, this is another Paradox. This is Paradox of War. We'll call him Ward here because the other guy doesn't have any extra words on his name, and War does. So he gets that to disambiguate him from Paradox. Anyway, War is 1900 rated. He's Cybran. He's in mauve. Up here on the flank, we have Babel. Babel is 1400 rated and Eon. He is in brown. Next up is Siggy. Siggy is 1300 rated and UEF. He's in orange. And moving along we have BananaSmoothie. She's walking away in the distance there. 1200 rated and Seraphim in electric pink. And last but not least, and only now leaving his base, he is indeed being patient. This is the PatientOwl. PatientOwl is 1100 rated and Seraphim. He's in dark green. And a quick look at the map. First of all, there's a big heap of reclaim in the middle, like lots of it, like Cetons levels of reclaim in the middle. Ozelot is rushing straight for it. And no other comm has arrived yet there, although Smoothie is not far behind. There's also decent heaps of reclaim up on these plateaus. Pond running around the back, which might be usable for something. We have a few Cybrans. Maybe we'll see Cybran navies sneaking out of these ponds. Or it may just be a place for comms to hide. Cheeky little lab run by here all on its own from Krieg. We'll see about that in a moment. Ozelot putting up a factory in mid. Can't see yet whether he's planning to do anything out of it like engineers, or whether he's going to use it to support his comm with units while his comm reclaims. Oh, look at this. This is going to be an amazing engineer pickup from Krieg. The one hunter takes out one NG, and there's another one there. Owl sends a bomber, but the lab dodges, and the lab is going to shoot the other NG before the PD goes up. That's marvellous. The bombers come back. There's another bomber now as well. And he stands on top of the mechs so that the bomb does a lot of damage to Owl's own mechs when it takes out the lab. All of that is great. I love it. Meanwhile, back to the middle, where Ozelot is coming forward. Smoothie is sucking up reclaim here. And Paradox isn't going to push and do damage to Banana. He is just going to suck up the reclaim for himself. However, that does expose Ozelot to 2 comms. Both Banana and Siggy are here. Krieg harassing Owl a little bit with a bomber and forcing Owl off this factory he's trying to build. Owl returns to it, but the bomber comes back. However, if Owl sticks on trying to build this factory, he won't be able to stop this run-by from Krieg, which is going to be very nice, and Owl decides to fall back. Meanwhile, in the middle, Paradox and Ozelot are still facing off against Banana and Siggy. but War is coming in to help out, and there isn't much spam on either side to help, so this could just come down to it being 3 comms versus 2. And it looks like that might be the plan, because look at this, all 3 comms are just heading in and putting the pressure on Paradox. And sure, Ozelot's here to help, but 3 on 1, I know where my money is. And they're just going to push Paradox down. This is going to be painful. There's a tiny, tiny bit of spam here, but Ozelot's mainly putting out NGs rather than tanks to help. What spam there was here from Ozelot was taken out by the bomber, and Paradox into the red. Under 2,000 hits, and there's still 3 comms essentially focusing on him. 1,000 hits. He's going down, isn't he? There's no way Paradox gets out of this. Boom! And the comm bomb damages all 3 comms, sure, but it also damages Ozelot. Meanwhile, Krieg had tried to come in behind and help out a bit, but now it is Krieg who's looking very alone against 3 comms. He needs to get out of there, and he's not getting out of there. This could be a problem, sure. All 3 comms were damaged by the comm bomb, and Krieg cheekily throws up a factory, oops, to try and block them a bit, but Krieg is taking the damage. Banana is sending in tanks to support the attack and to block Krieg from running. War falls back, not wanting to risk another comm bomb. But Krieg is deep into the red now. He's losing hit points, and both Banana and Siggy are gonna survive the bomb. 500, 400, boom! Down goes Krieg. That's 2 players knocked out for Northern Team in under 7 minutes, and that is brutal. Eva inherits but he gives it all straight over to Ozelot. Eva wants to focus on air, I don't blame him. And though they're both into the yellow, as is War, all the comms for Southern Team have survived. Now, can Ozelot use the immense amounts of spam production he's inherited to do some damage here before South Team can regroup? Up here, we have pressure coming in from Crazy. Crazy's got his comm. Babel's got a bit of spam. Crazy's comm, however, is naked. Now, if it's crazy to be naked, do I want to be sane? Answers in the comments below. But it does mean that Crazy can shoot these tanks pretty much for free, and he should also suck up some of these tank wrecks. But he's got to be careful. Babel's here, he's got gun, and remember Eon's single range plus speed is equivalent to any other race's regular gun. So Crazy is going to have to fall back unless North Team want to lose yet another player, and Crazy does fall back. Though I don't think Babel is going to pursue. Meanwhile, the South Team are tooling up for combat. War is here assisting Ziggy, who's already got Nano to help him recover some of the hit points he lost in the comm bomb, and who's now getting the gun upgrade. And when he finishes that, he could just push straight in, because all this spam here from Ozelot is just T1. And if Ziggy just pushes forward, he could crush it. Down here, we've certainly got... oh, there we go. Both Owl and Banana are going for the gun. So, Rambo comms all round from South Team, and in comes Ziggy. He's still a little bit into the yellow, but against only a small amount of T1, he should be fine. Look at him clearing this up with no problem at all, and as if that weren't enough, he's got War coming in behind him. He's going to be able to do the work. Babel also looking to send spam forward, as is Ziggy. And Ozelot doesn't really have anything here to defend. I think Ziggy is going to do a lot of damage. These mexes, they're a lovely 3 set of mexes, a threesome, a trio, that's the word. They're just going to be dead to this advance. There's also a relatively undefended mex here to pick up. This radar would be nice. Let's see what Ozelot can see. Yeah, see, he can't see any of this now. He's lost that radar, so that is a good pickup from the southern team. Ozelot's comm is paused here. Can he actually afford... Well, he can afford it now, though. In fact, he needs to spend some of that mass. But this is gonna be painful. If he loses this T2 factory, that could hurt. And the spam from Babel is also doing the dirty work, while Ziggy's comm is over here shooting up more mixes and more production. Ozelot plans point defense, but there's no way he's getting that out when there's all these units just shooting him up. But what do I see on the minimap over here? I see Evil with a T3 comm flying round the back. We're going to have to go and look at that in a moment. But for now, Evil's got decent amounts of air cover we can see there. I don't think he's going to get shot down. We have to look at the damage that South Team are doing. Crazy is sending his spam across to help, and it's forcing a bit of a withdrawal, but North Team have lost eco and they've lost units, while Ziggy's comm is pushing in here. And remember, this is a toured up comm. He's taken out this trio of mexes as well, and there's Ilshi's coming in from Banana. However, Ziggy's comm falls back. He's relying on his spam to do the dirty, but now we've got to look down here, because in comes Evil, backed up by no fewer than 8 engineers on his transport, and he drops. His T3 comm can throw up point defense is insanely fast, and it's just as well because he's only got T2 air, but there's T3 air here for war. He's getting his first T3 pigeon up, but is that going to last? This is perfect timing. There is a T2 point defense already down in defense for war. But look at the speed at which this T3 comm, backed up by his engineers, can throw up T1 point defenses, and they're close enough to do the damage. Look at this. This is amazing. Oh, the ACU manatee. Down goes the T2 point defense. Down goes what was the building foundation. That's the word of the T3 P-Gen. And down goes the Air HQ. And suddenly it doesn't matter that Evil is only at T2 air, because his opposing air player is only at T1 air. The mix is all going down. Land factories are going up to provide spam. This is amazing work from Evil. On the left, we have to keep following the comm drop, but on the right, looks to me like Ziggy might be a bit out of position. Sure, he's got gun and nano, and this is only T1, but Crazy has finally put some clothes on, and he too is wearing this season's highly fashionable gun and nano. And Ziggy might be pretty overextended. Caught out of position, I think he's going down. Just 5,000 hit points left. Over here, the point defenses are actually not getting a great deal done because of the shape of the terrain. But the spam factories will definitely help with that, and Ziggy's only got 900 hit points left. These engineers are all going to die. That was bad positioning from Crazy. But it doesn't matter, because boom, Ziggy goes up in smoke at 12 minutes 40. And what's this? We have a big Norther strike coming in. Is it going for Babel? No, it's going for the eco. It's going for War's eco, and it smashes out 3 of his T2 mexes. That's pretty nice. There is some anti-air in there, but it's carrying on. Is it heading on straight for Banana's mexes? Indeed it is. This is brutal. Amazing play, taking out multiple mexes from Evil. Meanwhile, we have got Owl pushing in on Ozelot's flank up here, but Ozelot's just managed to get out a brick here, and that will easily see off the push from Owl, who's gonna fall back. Banana is producing Tech 3 tanks, Ophiums, to come across here and help out Babel. And enough Tech 3 tanks would be able to swarm down a T2 point defense base. But there's a couple of problems with that. One of them is that Banana has lost a lot of her eco to that Nother hit, and so can't produce them very fast. Another is that this tank is just being parked just in the point defense fire, and it's going to be slowly worn down. That's no way to build up an army. And again, we have Nothers there I saw coming in from either. Though I didn't see what they hit that time. Tell me in the comments below if you saw them. Oh, I see on the minimap they took out some of the base that War inherited from Siggy. But up here we can see that Owl, that's his name, Owl is going for double gun. Now I do love a bit of double gun, especially when paired with double nano, but that's going pretty slowly. Loyalist raid heading down from Ozelot. Could get some work done. There isn't much to defend here or here, so I think that either way some mexes are going to be denied. Mobile missile launcher pressure and artillery pressure here. Oh, but that's a tactical missile launcher I see, and it's taking out yet more of War's mexes. Nice, that TML which is there is doing some work. However, these mobile missile launchers, they have been seen, and there is a bank of tactical missile defense going up that won't protect against Babel's arty right here. Meanwhile, how are the loyalists doing? Well, they're taking out T2 mexes, and it's gonna hurt. Banana is coming forward in person to take them on with an Othium or two. And she has got gun nano, so with a bit of overcharges this could work. However, don't forget that Owl is on an upgrade, so he's routed to the spot and can't come and intercept these. And loyalists are pretty fast. Meanwhile, though, we have spearhead pressure coming in from War, and spearheads are pretty great. It feels to me like all of this mobile missile launcher fire, including the spearheads and this arty, might just be enough to break in. Look at that. It's just beginning to overwhelm that mobile missile, tactical missile defense. And we now have some assistance going down for Owl. What have we got here from Banana? She's trying to just rebuild these mexes, and she has got some protection, but she'll have to watch out because Ozelot is massing quite a decent force up here. And it looks like I was right. As more spearheads mass here, more mobile missiles mass here, I think Evil might finally be forced back. Owl is also bringing in some mobile missile launchers. And all the tactical missile defense bar a couple have been taken out. Oh, I actually see there's quite a lot more has gone up here. But I don't think it'll last any more than the other lot did. Meanwhile, a small line of T3 is in defense here for Banana, but this is quite a big army, and I think Banana can't hold this, and indeed she's falling back. Poor old Owl still working on gun. He must be having some eco troubles, and indeed he is. Look at that, he's only generating 45 per tick, the lowest in the game. Because the amount of eco that has been denied to South Team by this drop is immense. Look at the difference. That's what, nearly 200, 160 at least difference. However, this is also an immense amount of reclaim. That's what, 3,000... I need to zoom out more to get it all. So there's like, must be 15,000 there or thereabouts. But the pressure is piling up. There's also Tech 3 Mobile Arty. And that looks like Evil has finally decided that enough is enough. He's just going to try and get out of there. But the amount of damage he's done, sure, he'll be evicted after 8 minutes, but at what cost? Banana is pushing in up here. And also Scott Defense is here, but he's producing here now as fast as he can, and he has got a few bricks out, but he's going to lose a little bit to Banana's push. Meanwhile, Babel focusing in the south means that Crazy has a chance to push in with his T2, and Crazy is also going very heavy on the mobile missile launchers. He's going to get some damage done, but this feels like it could be a misstep from Banana. Sure, she has gun, she has nano, but those are bricks. That's a lot of bricks. And a gun nanocom on its own can't take that many bricks. and she's into the yellow. As she realizes she's overstepped, she's falling back, but that is too late. Boom, BananaSmoothie goes down, and now we are 3v3 at just under 19 minutes into the game. Eva's fallen back into the water, and he's trying to flee north. We are trying to get torpedoes in here, but Eva is defending by using his spam to fire Zui shots at it, and he just takes out the engineers, which would be even quicker. Rather than retreat though, he's going straight for tactical missile, which is rather cool. Owl finally finishes double gun, but he doesn't have double nano, and double gun, double nano, he'd be able to take that. Double gun alone, even with support from these spearheads, because of course spearheads are offensive, not defensive units, I think this might be an overstretch. Is Owl about to go down to brick fire? And sure, he's getting damage done. He can kill bricks with that double gun, but bricks can kill him faster, because that is 10 bricks there. And Owl is not surviving this. Boom! Poor old Owl, he is taken out, having not really got much value out of that double gun. Meanwhile, Crazy pushes in on Babel with his T2. And I can see why Babel thought he could take this, because a lot of this was MMLs, but he can't. Boom! Down goes Babel. And suddenly, it's war all on his own against the 3 players remaining from North Team. Eva is under torpedo bomber pressure now, and he's trying to pick himself up. He throws up a SAM insanely fast, and he's just got to get in that transport and fly away. The torpedo bombers are trying to hurt him, and he does go down into the red, but the torpedo bombers get him. And we're going to have to follow this. There are inties coming after him. Will they shoot him down? It's a T2 transport, so it's not that fragile, but he does feel that he has to just drop in the pond rather than risk any further travel. And immediately he's putting up flak to defend himself there. Meanwhile, those bricks, the bricks that just killed Owl, they are smashing in here. We do have T3 defense from War that he's inherited from Owl and from Banana. And this line of point defense is also doing good work. I don't know how much these bricks are actually going to do more, though, you know, every little helps. And it's not going to add too much to the vast pile of reclaim that still needs to be worked through. And that tactical missile is hitting the eco. Some of this damage was straps that we just saw coming over from Eva. Oof, that was painful. The T3 HQ goes down, and so does most of the reclaim as the tactical missiles continue flying. That is painful for War. Ozelot consolidates back with his bricks, and I think he might be trying to come in and hit here. And of course there won't be any more reinforcements coming out here now that the factory has been destroyed. Oh, actually there is an HQ back here as well now, but it'll still be expensive. And Eva has actually put up a naval yard here, though he's not doing anything with it just as yet, and he walks out of the pond, continuing to fire tactical missiles at little bits of War's eco. Speaking of tactical missiles, there's quite the bank here, up and loaded from Crazy. Is he going for a snipe? Is he within range of the comm? Let's have a look. The comm is here. And so Crazy is in range of the comm, but right now he doesn't know where it is, and so he can't get the snipe on it. But is there any way back for War, and by extension the South team? Look at the eco difference now, 600 to 200. He's going to have to do something, he's going to have to do it now. Over here, it looks like he's trying to send these units, you can see the move order there, to cut off Eva's comm, and they're trickling around this mountain, but it looks like we've got a rethink here. as a vast wave, or well, a moderate wave, of strats and nothers masses up there from Evil. And Crazy is just going to lose his tactical missile bank without it getting anything done. Bit of a loss there. But Crazy just has enough T2 in the area that he might just be able to push War back without a problem. And War's army here is going to take out maybe a mech belonging to Evil, but he's not going to be able to run down the comm. Over here, however, this is a decent sized army. However, look at the horde of bricks that Ozelot has built up. I don't think there's enough here for War really to counter it, and although this is all T2, there's not really enough for War to counter that either, as Crazy pushes forward. And there's the Strat and North defense now attacking this force here. It does have a decent amount of flak in it, and I don't know whether there's going to be a decent trade on these strats for Evil, but when you've got that kind of eco advantage, what matters is just keeping it back, and while it's obviously still important, the effectiveness of the trades is a little bit less important, shall we say. Meanwhile, that brick pressure from Ozelot is just coming in here, and I don't think War can build enough to hold it back. Because, I mean, Ozelot's got enough eco on his own to match War, not counting either of the other two players. And they're heavily being helped out by the strats from Evil. Does War think he has something up his sleeve? War did move his units forward a bit, but he's soon falling back, and he does have a lot of shielded point defense here, and that will help against the bricks. But look at these strats just coming in and making a mess of the defending armies. Ozelot falls back a bit. He doesn't need to push this right now. Learning experiences, Babel. You can't improve versus cheese if you never taste it. And what a tasty piece of cheese that drop was. This army from War can't afford to stay still, because otherwise this massive force of mobile missile launchers will just do the job. Babel indicates that it needs to move to avoid the mobile missile launcher fire, and War withdraws it a bit. Map control is actually surprisingly even, but there's just so much rebuilding for War to do down here, and we can see that our first experimental is on the field. This Monkey Lord is stalking forward from Ozelot, heading towards War's forces, and we already have another one here in queue. This is quite a big army from War, but the mobile missile launcher pressure, along with some T3 artifire, is now just breaking this firebase from out of range. What can War do about it? Could he go for a nuke of desperation? Could he even have some success with tele-snipes? I don't know. What's really left? He's going forward against Crazy with this army, and this is now almost all MMLs, so this amount of bricks and harpies can probably get some work done. And Crazy's forced to fall back. We have the air defense coming in here from Evil, but there is flak in here and it's shielded, and Evil can't really get too much done to help out. This push could get some work done. However, the nearest to actual targets of value are probably these mechs and this production here. The strats are raining bombs down on it, but they are taking fire. On the other side though, Ozelot's monkey, backed up by heaps of bricks, is engaging over here, and Ozelot's easily going to have enough to stop this, and this army I think is coming around. Maybe War could cut off the monkey with this, but I think he's lost too much here to be able to get a decent sandwich on. He tries to sandwich the monkey, he's coming down upon the monkey, but the strats are still doing damage to the bricks, and the monkey is almost completely undamaged. The monkey opens fire, and War's last army, is being carved apart by the monkey and by Ozelot's bricks. Surely Surely there is nothing that War can do now to save this one. And War agrees. War resigns. Boom. What a game. What a drop. I do love to see an epic com drop, and that was among the most epic. Was there a comeback for South Team after that? I couldn't see one. If you could, tell me in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey. I'm the Commissar. I will see you next time.